I felt the darkness closing in on me since morning. I had long stopped counting the days as I lost another member of my lineage. Mother, father, brothers, sisters, all gone one by one, leaving me alive to continue the chain of our curse. I walked the road that once led to my ancestral home, thinking about this endless cycle. Each of us was chosen, the sole living soul in our generation, to keep the family alive. Yet whenever we tried to build a life of our own, death would find us. I stopped by the old bridge, watching the river flow slowly, like an indifferent witness to our family's torment. I opened my great-grandfather's journal. The yellowed pages smelled of age and blood, notes about experiments he conducted on the creature. He wrote about its incredible abilities, how it could heal from any injury, how it fed on fresh blood, and how he stubbornly believed it would grant him longevity and eternal youth. I read about the basement laboratory, about the dark days when my great-grandfather subjected the creature to tests, observing its every reaction, every subtle change. It never aged, never weakened, and his notes showed that whenever he harmed it, it would heal, grow stronger, and harbor some kind of hatred toward him. Now I understood why our family had suffered for centuries. Not random accidents, not wild animals, it was her revenge. Each generation left only one survivor, while the rest perished the moment a new family emerged. And now, I was the last. I walked along the forest edge, listening to the rustling leaves, every unusual sound. My hands shook, clutching the journal like the last thread of my bloodline. I felt her presence, cold and invisible yet undeniable. The creature was near, always near, waiting to destroy whatever I tried to build. I decided to flee. I tucked the journal into my backpack, got into the car, and drove the forest road leading to the neighboring county. Trees pressed tightly on either side, and I moved slowly, sensing invisible traps. Every sound felt like her steps, every gust of wind like her breath.
And so, he was no longer seen alive. The next morning, locals reported that his car had been found deep in the forest, several miles off the main road. The vehicle was severely damaged, sides dented as if struck by something heavy, the windshield cracked, the interior in disarray as though he had struggled desperately to escape. Inside, the hero was found lifeless. His face was pale, eyes wide open, staring into nothingness. His throat had been torn, the wounds were clear, as if inflicted by the teeth of a great beast. Doctors and police could not explain the injuries. Every clue pointed to a supernatural attack, real yet incomprehensible. Locals recalled feeling a strange chill in the woods even before the car was discovered. The trees seemed unnaturally still, the air heavy. Some claimed to have seen a dark figure between the trunks, vanishing quickly into the undergrowth. No one dared to approach, knowing this part of the forest had its own history, a history that spans centuries. The newspaper article recounting the events detailed the hero's lineage, the unusual deaths of his relatives, and even the discovery of the great-grandfather's journal in the old basement. The journalist wrote that each generation left only one living member, with tragedies repeating like a curse. The creature held captive by the great-grandfather was likely the cause of these deaths. As life showed with the hero, its vengeance knew no bounds.
I knew it was the end. My entire family, the entire chain of generations, ended with me. I was the last person who could carry on this lineage, and even fleeing did not save me. I felt her presence in the car as it careened uncontrollably into the trees. In my final moments, I realized that all of this was not random, not natural selection, but pure, cold vengeance.
The story of this family ended as abruptly as it had begun. The creature which had claimed lives for a century had finally drawn the line. The hero was found dead inside his own car in the forest far from home. His body was mangled, the circumstances left mysterious, as if supernatural forces had decided not to leave any trace except the evident marks of her wrath. We who followed his fate can only watch and reflect. This creature knows no remorse, knows no fatigue, and its path is an endless cycle of destruction. It will wait for the next generation if one ever arises. The century-long story of vengeance has concluded, but questions remain. Can something that does not age, does not tire, and feels no mercy ever be stopped? For those listening to this account, take heed. Sometimes the most terrifying curse is not in the darkness, not in death, but in the fact that it has waited a century to finish its work. Even when it seems everyone is gone, when it seems all is over, it may be waiting nearby. patient like a shadow that never disappears.